When you set goals and tasks for your business, don't forget to set a timeline for those. Don't just set an ambiguous goal like, oh, or a task like, check my email today, work on so and so project today, put together this sales letter today. Make sure that you actually time limit that, and don't time limit it in such a way that you know that you can easily get it done in that time, and that you build in extra time to do so. Like, check email for an hour, you know, get this sales letter done by 4, whatever it is. But actually give yourself some challenge to it. Check and reply emails for 30 minutes. Get this letter done by noon. Give some kind of challenge to it. So make sure that it's not so easy to reach that it becomes too easy. But you want to challenge yourself. It keeps you more interested in your business, and it actually helps you to get things done quicker. You may have heard the old adage, and that goes something along the lines of a task will expand into the time that you have allotted for it. So in other words, it doesn't matter how much time you allot for the task, that task will take up all the time. If you give it 2 hours, then you can get it done in the 2 hours. If you give it 4 hours, then it'll take you the whole 4 hours to do it. Even though, looking back, you could have got it done in 2 hours if you actually had tried. And that's because we tend to see that deadline, and we don't get rushed. We don't worry about it too much if it's far enough out there. We don't push ourselves to do that and to accomplish it. And that, of course, can apply into anything in our lives. Whatever goal you set, whatever task you have, it'll expand to fill the time that you've allotted for that. An example is getting up to go to work. Maybe you got a certain routine, and you get up a little late. You've hit the snooze button a few times, and you go through your routine, and you end up running a little bit too late for work. The next day, maybe you get up early. You actually get up when the alarm goes off. You do the same routine, and yet you still find yourself running late for work because somewhere along the line you delayed a little bit more, or something's taking a little longer or whatever, and so that all your whole routine expanded to fill the time that you had allotted for it. I'm recording this on the day just after a time change in the fall, which is when we set our clocks back an hour, coming off of daylight savings time. And in doing so, it typically means you get an hour's worth of sleep. But what that also means when you have kids is that they wake up by your clock an hour earlier. And, according to their bodies, it's still 8 o'clock instead of waking up at 7 o'clock. So this morning we woke up, 30, 40 minutes earlier because the kids were up and everybody was moving around, and we kind of woke up and couldn't go back to sleep because our bodies were still used to the amount of light that was coming in at that time. So we got up that much earlier, and yet getting ready for church and everything, we still ended up running late and running on our normal schedule, I guess, if you want to call it that. We didn't end up getting ready and sitting around waiting to go. We were still getting ready up until the last minute to go. So our whole routine, our whole thing that we go through and process that we go through, getting kids ready, eating, showering, and so on and so forth, it expanded to fill the time that we have allotted. Even though we had another 34 minutes, 30 or 40 minutes, it still took us all that time to get ready and to go. So when you're setting up a task, make sure that you have it set and that you are setting a time frame for it, and a time frame that's a bit of a challenge to meet, a time frame that you actually have to work and focus on that task to meet, because that'll actually help you drive your focus. It'll actually help you to stay engaged with that task rather than floating around on the internet and getting distracted by other things. Set that time limit and make sure that you keep to it.